If you're following me for the first time, I wanted to say hi and welcome you. And if you've been following me along the entire journey, thank you so much for allowing me to practice my content on you. So I know I have a lot to say. I've been doing this for several years, working with clients, 6 years studying in school, and I will go deeper with it. I will break it up even more. So the whole key to this was me doing the exercises, but feeling them in the right spot instead of just jumping into the exercises and getting injured or feeling them where I was already tight or sore. So to me, when people think of regression is if the exercises is too hard, then they bring you to a more beginner exercise or something that's suitable. But a lot of times people hate regressions because they're like, well, I want to be able to do the advanced. But to me, regressions are sexy because if I get a client to do a regression and they can feel it, they're getting so much more benefit from that exercise than they would if they did the advanced and hurt themselves. Plus, if they do the regression, so the more simple exercise, and they start feeling their body correctly, then I don't have to worry about them and their homework. I don't have to worry, oh, hold this, pull this in, and all these cues. I'm just like, did you feel it like that? Yes. Try to replicate that every time you did the exercise. So here's an example. Right now, this is like a beginner plank, right? We'd be on the wall, something simple, right? So it's not that I can't do it on the ground, but can you feel it on the wall? So let's say you're doing a plank. So I would start on the wall, even on the balls of my feet here, okay? My spine back, pushing away from the wall, shoulders and core on. So yeah, so right now I can feel that. So good, so take that feeling, right? And you bring it, so take that feeling of the core that you just felt and bring it into something lower. Okay, even on the feet, pushing away, core. Perfect. Yeah, okay, I got my stomach again. So I can feel that. And then you bring it into your full plank exercise on the floor or whatever you need to do. Instead of starting here and then saying, my shoulders, my back, my neck, it's better for you and it's better for your body to actually feel what you're doing, okay? So that's my first point. My next point today is that yesterday I was getting into some more dynamic stuff, and I'll be doing more rotation and more dynamic stuff for the last 3 videos I think I have, because now I'm getting into more functional, where my body's working more as a unit now, it's more in sync. So to start, I'm actually going to do a plank in a rotation. I'm going to open up my hip as I push off. I'm working on my push off. And then I'm going to do a rotation with the band where I'm set, I'm pulling with one and I'm pushing with the others. You can think of it as a forward punch, but it's mimicking also the walking motion and everything like that. So I'll start right now. Let's get into the push. Okay, so I'll lower this down. Excellent. I'll find the right angle eventually. Guys, don't hate me. Okay, so right now I'm doing the push off, where I'm taking this leg, and this could be when you're walking, this could be the end of a baseball swing, the end of a golf swing. It's that my hip opens and it allows me to transfer the weight up and through my body. So this is what I'm going to do. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put one foot in front, one foot behind, shoulder width apart, and I'm going to practice pushing off this foot up to be able to feel this butt and allow this to open the hip. So I'm thinking right here, open, open. What's going to happen is as you push, you're just going to want to drive your knee forward, or you're just going to want to fall into it. I have to keep my core on, open, and not sway. Stay on the same side. And yes, I'm bringing my arms with me. So the motion starts at the feet and then moves up the body. I am feeling the butt, right? Because that comes along with it. 2, 1. Okay, so now I feel the hip. I'm going to take this hip into a lunge where I'm going to set my core and I'm just going to work on opening this hip. So this was, I did the beginning exercise just to set myself for when I do the rotation. I'm going to do the rotation in a lunge first, just so I can get the transfer through my stomach before I bring it up and start using my feet for it. I'm just going to hold this, right? Right now, I'm feeling my hip right here on the outside. As I lean back and set myself on my right side, my front leg is pushing back, my back foot is pushing forward, so my pelvis is set. So as my pelvis is set here, I can lean back a little bit and open up this hip. And this is tight, right? Like I'm getting into these areas. And just a little bit of motion here. Okay, so I'll do the same thing on the other side. So, same thing on the other side. So here I am, I'm set. I'm taking my back leg and I'm pushing. This motion is walking, running, just getting that push together without collapsing or without overarching. So I'm driving from my feet up, 2 and 1. And what's key here is, as I'm doing it, take a look at my back foot, right? I want my back foot to be even. So a lot of times when you start pushing, you'll find, look, this is me more on the outside. You can see if I'm more on the outside, my knee drops in. This is me more on the inside, my big toe, my knee drops out. I want that an even push through the ball of the foot. And that's what's key here, is that I get that even push, right? My core set. So this is my core not on, pushing. I'm just dropping to my hip. This is my core on and me pushing. And I'm actually bringing this hip around as I can start to load this, my front leg as well. So do it one more time here. It's something that looks simple, but if you're not grounded and you can't get the push off the floor, just like jumping, right? Some people can jump and then just be on the balls of their feet jumping, but can they get deep into it, right? Push off the floor, use their momentum, and then jump, right? It's all about technique on it. So right here, ball of my foot. Hang on, let me set my core. Good. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now that I have this even pressure on the foot, I'm going to take this down, straight down into a lunge. And this is great when you're working on your lunges, because the lunge, you want to be set and you want to be straight up and down, like ear to knee. I want to be straight. So I'm also, as I'm working on my hip, I'm also working on my position with my spine. And it's also going to affect other exercises like the lunge or anything else I do. So right now, I'm pretty good. Like my hips open, but I'll show you what's going on here. And I want to get set before I do the rotation, right? Like that's what's key right now. So here I am, but my weight's still on the outside of this hip. So what I have to do is I really have to start pushing off of this left and pulling this hip back. And it's way better than before. Like I'm really getting into it. So yay, proud of myself there. Yeah, like holding this position is work because I'm stabilizing from my feet, from my pelvis, and holding myself. If I wanted to relax, right? I could easily take this into the rotation exercise, but then look, I'm disconnected here. Whereas if push off, sink back, rotate, now it's wrapping around my entire leg and I have that momentum coming from the ground to my arm. And that's what I'm looking for. Perfect. So before I get into my rotation, I'm actually going to do a core exercise. So the core exercise is going to be a plank, but instead of a plank like this, it's going to be like this, because then I'm going to try to sit my sides, and I'm going to try to rotate away, come back. Rotate away to the other side, come back. I'll show you what that looks like. So on the wall here I am. Okay, up on the ball of my feet, but not too tall, centered, pushing off. Okay, spine. And then from here, as I push against the wall, right, I'm rotating as a unit away. As I come back, same thing. So my feet are turning as I do this a bit. It's actually easier for the feet not to like rub against, to do it on the table here. So actually that's where I'm going to go next. Maybe I'll get like, okay, so here I am. Up, right? Set my spine. So here I am, I'm pushing against, I'm not letting myself fall into the plank. I'm pushing off against the plank. So that's the first key thing. Holding my stomach where my back collapses, right? So right now, if my back collapses here, I'm making sure that that core is on right there. I'm already starting to sweat. So from here, I'm going to take this, okay? I'm going to rotate. Rotate and hold, keep the head strong. Come back. Good. Again, rotate and hold. Keep the head strong. Come back. And I'll do it facing you guys as well. Hold, core's on. Rotate and hold, right? Not letting myself drop. And so now it's actually better because now I can get into the shoulders. So at the very end, I'll show you the difference between where I was and where I need to be. I still do have a lot of ways to go, but good, keep that up. And last one. So not flats, core's on, and I'm rotating. And as I'm rotating through it, I feel my side here working. So not my side here working. Okay. So now I'm going to get my pad and do my rotation exercise. So all that was just to build up to this. So here I am. I got my push, sinking down. Good. A little further. Cool. Band shouldn't break. So, why did I practice the push? Because right now I want to sink back in my hip. So, as I'm sitting here, push, 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 stabilize. Good, then I'm gonna take the band. Okay, I'm gonna grab it with my fist. Then, as I come along with this, right now it's pulling me back, set my hip. So as I push through my feet, the weight will wrap around my stomach and travel through here. What's key is that I don't drop in my side. I gotta keep this up and strong as I reach around. And as I reach around, stretching, I should feel my left hip more. Like my left butt. Inhale, brace, exhale, take it. Head working back, always. Inhale, brace, exhale. And last one, inhale, brace, exhale. So my chest is here. As I rotate, chest is here. Chest is what, more straight, or as I rotate more, facing this. Good. Really got a grip with this foot. Last one. So here, set the ribs, set the head. Right? I'm not doing it just from the arms here. This is me doing the exercise, just punching with my arms. Where does it stop? stops here in my back. I'm actually driving with my feet first to bring it around. And that's the difference. So do it the other way. Maybe you guys can see a different angle. All right, 1 foot back, 1 foot down. I have this set. So now I'm working on my left side. So my left side has a tendency to not want to come forward as much. So I really have to set my head on this one so that my left shoulder loops around and comes forward. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Okay, so here, tension, good, brace. So this is really good because I really feel my left hip opening as I do this exercise. And I can feel my right side coming back. So in my rotation, one of the main problems was that because I'm right-handed, I have a tendency to over-rotate with my right. So in order to fix that, I rolled out my side, I did a whole bunch of exercise. But now that I'm starting to feel things coming together, how I'm gonna fix that is I'm gonna actually start rotating with my left so that I can get my body back into my right to stretch this side. So this is one of the key exercises that I'm gonna be working on is my left rotation. Also tomorrow, I'm gonna be doing like left rotation into crunches and everything like that because it's very easy for me to relax, right? And for my normal pattern to fall, even though now I'm aware when it happens. Okay, so hopefully this wasn't too much and you liked it. To recap, I worked on the push to open up the hip, right? So I'm not just falling into the back, doing the push from the back. That's why I kind of did this. So actually I can get into the hips. Then from there, I did some rotation exercises, a rotation plank. So I could actually start to feel my ribs traveling around with my pelvis, my torso. And then I rotated right, but really, as many reps as I need to do here, I need to double that with my left side so I can start reaching and stretching this whole side out. Good. So thank you for joining me again. I will see you tomorrow.